Well, how you doing, guys? This video is going to be portrait mode. You'll have to deal with it. And my haircut, it's hard to get a good haircut during COVID lockdown. So, as you probably guessed from the title, today is I'm getting the COVID jab. And I had not intended to make a video on this at all. I was going to go and get my COVID jab and just quietly continue on with things and not make this in any way political. And I don't plan to yet. But simply putting something like this on YouTube, it's going to be political. Everybody's going to have an opinion about it. So be prepared for the comments to be disabled on this one. I expect it's going to get nasty. So, as many of you regulars know, I have multiple sclerosis. So I've waited this long to get the jab for a couple of reasons. One, I had to consult with my neurologist to get his recommendation on it. And two, I waited till my folks had it done. Usually my older brother is an early warning for this sort of stuff, but he's no longer with us. Both my folks have had no side effects at all of the AstraZeneca vaccine, and I've managed to get in much more quickly than I thought. The reason I'm making this video, and it might not be visible from my face, it absolutely terrifies me. I have to go in once a month to get infusions. I have to get a cannula put in. It's got to stay in for a couple of hours, and I get wild rashes and stuff. And the last time I got the needle in, they had to try like 3 or 4 times. It happens. I'm a bit difficult like that, and usually my blood pressure's sky high too, because I get faint. I traditionally fall on the floor. I had a biopsy done a little while ago, and I full on passed out on the floor. I had just enough warning to pick a nice comfortable spot to lower myself to the floor, and that was it. So yeah, but look, what I think a lot of this anti-vaccine stuff comes down to is people are scared of getting vaccines, or they just don't want to be told what to do. And I think that's just what a lot of stuff tracks back to. You know, everybody's clinging to this little hope that it might be a hoax, or that it might be some sort of means of social control, or any excuse that they can take to just opt out because they're either scared, or they don't want to do what they're told, or they don't want somebody else having a say in their life. But I'm a little on the autistic spectrum, so I don't really understand emotions all that well. But I don't know, it's frustrating how selfish some people can be, and how little understanding people have of just the facts of life. Like this, there's been all these sort of things for millennia. It's always been viruses and pandemics that come and go in ebbs and waves. It's not unsurprising. And yes, I'm not even going to speak to the conspiracy theorists that are saying that, you know, a lot of this stuff is you know, being exploited. For sure, there are people that are exploiting this situation to try for their own benefit, and for financial benefits, yes. But there's a whole lot more people that are losing out big time on this. Governments are losing out big time on this too. A lot of those arguments just don't stack up. They just really don't. So I'm not going to speak to a lot of them. I'm not going to deconstruct them. This is not a debunking video. This is me just being public, being a bloke who's 6'6", going, I'm terrified of getting an intramuscular needle. I'm going to pass out and be faint. You know, you're not weak for being a bit scared of something like this. It's a very deeply psychologically disturbing thing to have a steel needle jammed into your muscles. So yeah, you're not alone if you're a bit worried about getting this done. I'll tell you, I've waited quite a while to get this done, but there's been a few cases close to home. I've lost family overseas to COVID as well, and I've actually sacrificed a couple of mates. Not in that sense. I've parted ways with a couple of mates over this argument because they won't even consider another viewpoint. Which is the problem here. If you are so convinced of something that you have no facts of, that you will not change your mind for any fact, then you're not being objective. In any case, that's all I'm saying on that. But yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more to this in a bit after I've had the jab done, and I'm going to tell you a bit about what goes on. The bit that terrifies me the most about this sort of thing is the unknowns that I can't prepare for. I think it's an intramuscular. I've had to ask some people, but I don't know if it's intravenous or intramuscular. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know how big the needle is. I don't know if I'm going to feel faint. You'll probably notice I'm in my 6-wheel drive ambulance here at the moment, because once I come out with this jab, I don't know how I'm going to feel. So I've given myself a place to crash that is going to be a very short walking distance from the clinic. I can shut the door in here. I'm not violating any COVID restrictions. I'm not interacting with people. I'm on my own. I can lay down here until I feel better. Or if I'm really desperate or I have some sort of side effect, I can ring up and call the medical center that's, 20 or 30 feet away and go, hey, I'm having some side effects. So I'm preparing as best I can, and that's what I do. I like to be prepared for stuff. So yeah, this is probably a bit longer than I'd hoped. I can't make this a short. Anyway, so I'm going to have some breakfast. I haven't had breakfast yet. I am still feeling a bit funny. Although I have my boiling vessel on the go here. I'm going to have a cup of tea soon. And I'll find something fairly neutral for breakfast that I can do in that. I'm here a little early. And so yeah, I'm going to go in with a bit of food in my stomach. And hopefully a bit of time to relax, get my blood pressure down a bit. And I won't be so much of a difficult patient, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So, see yous in a minute. Alright, I've had a bit of a rest and a bit to eat. And the lighting coming in under the door here, because I've got the door down, makes me look a lot worse than I really am. I'm going to zip up my boots here for 5 minutes to go. So I'm going to go in, going to go and wait. We'll see how crap I am when I get out. Alright, so I'm done. And all I've got to say about this to start with is anxiety is your worst enemy, or at least is mine anyway. Usually I pass out with these things because of anxiety, and I have a massive blood pressure drop. I didn't really have that here, but in large thanks to the expertise of the nurse. The needle is an intramuscular, and it's a freaking tiny little thing. I barely felt it, and for me that's saying something. I have a bit of quirkiness up the nerves in my arms and stuff because of multiple sclerosis and the brain lesions, and some of the spinal scleroses I have as well as a result of all of the last previous attacks. So left arm is usually the one I don't feel things with as much as my right arm. With the exception of my right hand, I have some texture perception problems, and anyway, it's a bit weird. But normally if I get something in the intermuscular here, I don't tend to notice it. There is a little bit of a sensation up the arm. Certainly my body is telling me something was there that shouldn't be. But no initial redness, nothing crazy like that. So I'm pretty good. I'm just coming down off the whole confronting thing of going in there. About the actual, the process of going in was quite confronting. There wasn't a lot of signage that really explained what was going on. I was kind of thrust into it. They're trying to do volume and get people through, so I guess there's not a lot of time to explain the whole details to everybody that goes in. First off, I had to grab a ticket. I think I ended up grabbing a green ticket, and I think it was green for Pfizer and yellow for AstraZeneca, and they ended up going, we'll swap you over if you're getting AstraZeneca. I had to answer a few more questions, obviously, because of the blood clotting and stuff like that. And had to tell them about my discussions with my neurologist, and I have to switch hands. My left arm now suddenly hurts. Not badly. It's just it doesn't like having had something jabbed into it. But yeah, so after that I went and answered the questions with the initial triage process. Gave over my Medicare card, all that sort of stuff. I'd already signed up and answered online and answered most of the questions and stuff, so I didn't really have to do that. They just went over, confirmed everything. I then went and sat with the nurse who just triple checked everything, made sure that yes, definitely I really did want to do what I'm doing, and yes, I've talked to everybody. Due diligence, I very much appreciate that. The nurse, she's clearly done many hundreds of these. She was quick, very good to keep me distracted, has dealt with people that have had anxiety before, clearly. She just kept me talking, and the needle was in and out while she was talking. Next thing I know, she's holding the cotton bud over it. So, yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I am going to have a snooze in the back here. I've got everything set up, so I'm just going to sit down now because I know me. When my brain decides to figure out what's just happened in about the next 10 minutes, I'll probably get a little bit faint. But that's all up in here. It's nothing psychophysiological. It's just psychological. So yeah, I'm going to have a snooze. I'm going to drive home. But yeah, guys, like everything with me, the brain here made it a whole lot worse than it really should have been. But yeah, I just thought I had to make this video because I know there's people out there that have to be scared of this, just like me. And just letting you know you're not alone. Like, it's a pretty confronting thing for some people to go and get injections of any kind. So yeah, I hope this sort of helps you through it all. And I hope you don't freak out as much as I did. But there's not much to freak out about. It's actually not that bad. And it's a whole lot better than the DBT I had back in, or what is it? Diphtheria, rubella, and tuberculosis, I think, that they give you back in high school. That one was horrible. I still remember it vividly today. This is nothing like it. It's easy. So, yeah. So, don't stress too much. And, yeah. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it's not just a bloggy type one. Hopefully we actually do something interesting. Anyway, I'll see you later. And, yeah, good luck.